What's really good, my people? Welcome into No Catch Up Sports Talk via Chicago. I'm your host, Sean Little, Big Nick the Quick, on the road again, but he's with me as always. Monday Night Football, we got to break that down. The Niners showed up and showed out against the NFC West rival, Los Angeles Rams. We'll talk about that. Week 4 recap overall. Then we'll do a little look ahead to Week 5. Man, NFL season is cruising already. Well, we'll talk about that. Then we got to talk about we're going to do a little big NBA previews episode here coming up. But I wanted to, look at some of the, preseason just started. Nick the Quick's boy, Devin Booker's already acting up a little bit via the socials. We're going to talk about that. But, of course, I got to kick it off. I went to the Meadowlands. We'll talk about my experience going to see Bears Giants on Sunday. No catch up. Stay with us. You already know what time it is.
Now look at Mossy. Really? Oh, so that's how you're going to play it. You going to do this? Okay, fine. That's all I needed. That's all I needed for him to do that. And it became personal with me.
Big Nick the Quick, what's goody?
How we feeling?
Man, you already know. Great. I was on the Niners last night, so that was great. I don't know why. I don't know why I didn't take him in the pick 'em. I didn't understand. I took the Colts, bro. All I do is talk bad about Matt Ryan, and it's all factual stuff. I watch all the film. He looks so bad, and then I just feel like it's a good spot to back him.
I told you this, man. You love to ride with these guys that you don't trust, man. I think we talked about this before. I'm big on the quarterback rule for gambling. If I don't trust the quarterback, it's a stay away. I don't care what the line looks like.
Yeah,
and Matt Ryan, Kirk Cousins, fellas like that, I just can't. I can't put my money on them.
This is the thing too. A lot more times than not, a lot of values on the guy that you don't trust too. So it's, I don't know, man.
You gotta go with your gut. You gotta go with your gut over that value.
When you're trying to bet the best numbers, you know what I'm saying? And it seems like those are the best numbers, but it's the reason why those are the best numbers. Like, for example, like I was on Seattle too in the pick'em. Like that seemed like a lot of people love Detroit. Like Geno Smith on the road, folks was carving their ass up. So. Yeah, but you know what I'm saying.
Well, Detroit might have the worst defense in the history of the NFL. I've never seen anything like it. Shout out Aaron Glenn was great on Hard Knocks, but he's terrible on Sundays.
Dude,
terrible.
They averaged 40 a night or something. They won in 3.
It's crazy. Yeah, and you know what's going to happen?
Putting up 40 a game and being 1 in 3.
Yeah, consistently. Yeah, with Jared Goff too, of all people. It's crazy. You know what's funny though? After watching Hard Knocks, there's zero chance that Dan Campbell fires that guy in the middle of the year. 100% trust him to turn it around.
100%.
Not a chance. Not a chance he fires him. If you know anything about that dude, that's his guy. He's not firing him. He's like, no, he's going to turn. He
might double down and give him an extension just to give him some more time to get it straight.
Make him associate head coach.
All right. I gotta tell you about going to the Meadowlands. Shout out my guy David Tyree. He hooked us up with some awesome seats. Of course, we were like some of the only Bears fans. He put us behind on the Giants sideline. So we were the only Bears fans around. There's a couple others, but it was heavy giant blue. And first of all, stadium is not the easiest to get to. We drove, and it still wasn't that easy to get to. But we had a nice little tailgate set up, man. We met some cool people next to us. They hooked us up with a bunch of
How far
stuff.
Is it outside the city?
From my spot, it's like a 35-minute drive, and I'm right on the other side of the river in Brooklyn. So not that far.
Yeah.
But it might not be the easiest to get to either if you're not driving. And yeah, it's far enough.
Can you take a train? There's no train or nothing like that? Or?
No, I think there is a train, but I haven't. That was my first time, so I didn't. Yeah, we were driving. We were going to tailgate a little bit, so we didn't look at the train option. But going out there was fun. I got a big gripe though. First of all, plenty of parking space and stuff for you to tailgate, kick it. It was like a good 10-minute walk. We were right by the stadium. It wasn't bad. Everybody was really friendly. We get in the building, and I don't even remember the score, maybe 6-3 or at half. Some bullshit score at halftime. And I went to get a beer and they stopped selling beer at half.
Oh, wow. Is that a New York thing?
Bro, at half, dog. I couldn't believe it. I went to get a beer at halftime, like the start of the third quarter, like 15 minutes still on the clock, hadn't even started yet. And yeah, that was what it was.
When do they normally stop? Is the fourth quarter?
Yeah, bro. At the very least, last call is like end of the third. Like you could get a beer at Soldier, you get a beer start of the fourth quarter, 100%.
Yeah. I was gonna say, yeah. Halftime is wild.
Halftime is wild. I was like, man, what?
Yeah, what are they trying
I've
to do?
I've never seen anything like that. So you already know I was in the stands. I was on Giants fans' ass for that. Like, I can't even get a beer in the second half. That's some Giants shit. Like,
yeah, that's wild. That doesn't make any sense.
I bet you I could get a beer in Philly in the third quarter. Like, y'all soft out here, da. So I had some fun with that. But overall, man, it was to see the Bears live. It just looks very disorganized, man. Like people are just not locked in, don't know what they have to do, and that's it. Like it just shows on the field. You get like a different perspective when you're live and watching plays develop from the sideline, which is always interesting. But it was a lot of fun. Spent a few hundred to go see the boys take a L. It's pretty standard. So
yeah, there you go.
I can't complain about it. It was fun.
Last away game we went to was a win, though. We won in
Vegas.
We won in Vegas. That was a great time.
That was a great trip. that was a great trip. If we had the seats I had the other night in Vegas, it would have been extra lit. But yeah.
Well, look, man, you said it looked bad in person. It looked bad on TV too, so don't worry about it. You didn't. It wasn't too much of a different experience. I promise you that.
Anything changing and any takes changing from week to week?
No, I mean, I think, look, I mean, you could say he was better throwing the ball on Sunday and you wouldn't be lying, but I mean, it's not. I think overall the offense, man, what was it, 4 trips to the red zone on Sunday and 4 field goals? Like you gotta have some type of creative play calling when you get down there that is designed to get the ball in the end zone. And you just can't against a team like the Giants who only put up, what was it, 20 points that they put up? It's not like you're playing against you're not playing against the Chiefs here. You don't really need a whole bunch of touchdowns to put this team away. But they got in the red zone a few times and could not do anything. You're just coming away with field goals. So, I think it's still a Fields problem. It's definitely an offense problem. It's definitely a personnel problem. I think Orlovsky kind of hit it on the head the other day. I think he took some blame off of Fields, and I still do put a lot on Fields. We talked about this last week, but man, from a talent perspective, you can't. This dude has no time to throw the ball and nobody to throw the ball to, and it just looks disorganized. But again, if you get down into that area, you got to score the ball. Like it's period, point blank, man. You got to score. You have to score touchdowns. You cannot get to the red zone 4 times and come away with 4 field goals. Yeah. You can talk about
that's a perfect. Yeah, no, I was just gonna say because I don't want to talk about the Bears for half an hour because it's pointless. But that's a perfect segue into Monday Night Football last night. Rams at Niners. Rams flat out didn't punch it in. They didn't score any touchdowns, and you're not going to beat anybody, especially a well-coached team on the road if you don't score touchdowns.
Well, that's because y'all's heroes. That's because y'all's heroes are fraud. Like I've been saying for 12 years, everybody's hero, Matt. Everybody, AT&T commercial hero, greatest quarterback on earth. Let's forget about his first fucking dozen years in the league and anoint him. Yeah, that's your boy Matt Stafford. Hey, throw to somebody else, asshole. Guy targeted Cooper Kupp 19 times last night.
they got that report. Yeah, what did you think of the game last night? It was going in. What people didn't realize going in, because the public was on the Rams, is that they didn't understand the defense in the front that the Niners were about to bring. For whatever reason, they didn't believe that and didn't see said front coming. So I wasn't. The Rams coming in had the 30th ranked run offense in the league. That combined with the Niners being able to get pressure without blitzing is a recipe for disaster. They know you can't run it, so we're just going to sit back and watch you throw it. And currently going into the game, Stafford was 25th in air yards per attempt. He wasn't pushing it downfield. Everything was below 10, 12, 15 yards. So basically the Niners could sit back, know you can't run it, and know nothing's going over the top. So we're just going to sit in this 15-yard dead zone and just pick you apart. That's it. That's all. And this I'm blanking on his name, but he's my favorite defensive player in the NFL. Troy Polamalu Jr.
The safety over there. I forget his name too. Yeah.
Halafunga. I shouldn't even have said that.
Yeah. He's
look that up for me. Look that up for me. But I'm going to tell you this. I don't know how he's a 5th-round pick in last year's draft. This is his 2nd year in the league, and
Talanoa
Huafunga. That's his name.
Yeah,
and he looks like Troy Polamalu.
Yeah,
across the board. He's an absolute ball hawk. He flies around, does his thing. For a guy like that to go in the 5th round out of SC, he won the Pat Tillman Defensive Player of the Year award like 2 years ago. I just don't know how these guys fall all the way to the 5th round, but he's in a great situation where he's got a lot of insurance with the rest of the players on his defense, but man, he is a perfect fit for what they want to do. He's awesome.
Wait, so has he replaced Budda Baker as your favorite NFL player? I thought Budda Baker was your man.
I like Budda Baker. Budda Baker is nowhere near my favorite defensive NFL. Like this dude is awesome. Go back and watch some tape of this dude just to start this season. He's been all over the place. He plays just like Polamalu, and he looks like Polamalu too. Well, he had a pick 6 last night. Say it again.
What? Oh no, go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna say he had a pick 6 last night. He just played really, really well across the board. He's been filling the box. He's just a really good NFL safety, and it's fun to watch. And I'm glad that he's doing this thing to be, a 5th-round pick in his 2nd year.
And I'll add to that, the 49ers got, I think, my favorite player in the league on offense, and Deebo Samuel. I love Deebo. I just love it. I think first off, Shanahan, D'Amico Ryans, like the whole operation that they run over there in San Francisco is so clean. I know they had a tough game last week against Denver. Was it Broncos they lost to? Or I think it was Denver that they lost to last week. Yeah. So coming off that tough loss, the play calling was excellent. I felt calling that run play when Donald went out, the classic Shanahan zone run.
Insane, right? Right when he went out, they run it right in his spot.
Right when he went out, right in his spot. And look, man, go back to his pops, right? Just the way that they're able to run block, their schemes for run blocking. Don't you remember back in the day, Denver would have a new 1,000-yard rusher every single year when Shanahan was there. It was Terrell Davis. It was this guy, Mike Anderson, just random dudes going over there rushing for 1,000 yards. Shout out Mike Anderson. Random dudes going over there rushing for 1,000 yards, right? So it's just something that they do as far as that run blocking, and that was just a perfect play call at that time. Then just get on the Deebo. Talk about turning nothing into something, right? It's not like their offense was humming last night. And when you take a play like that and you just break it, just the different ways that you can use him, the different things that he can do, the fact that he's a big dude and he does it like that. I put it in the group chat last night. I want to ask you this. I was straight up Tyreek Hill or Deebo Samuel. And I'll give you my take on it. I think Tyreek Hill is ultimately more dangerous. Like there's no player in the NFL that I think is scarier than Tyreek Hill. Just on a one-play basis, he can absolutely destroy you. But I do think you need a quarterback for Ty Hill. For Deebo, you don't need a quarterback. You just get the ball in his hand. You figure out a way, however you can, whether you hand it off, you do something short, you run him on an end around, like whatever it might be, you just get the ball in his hands, and he just makes things happen. If you really go back to last year and you watch some of those games, really the last 2 years with the Niners, there were many games where Deebo is the reason why they won as far as offense goes and putting on points. So yeah, I mean, I was just thinking as I was watching that, man. Like we talk about Tyreek all the time, but is it Tyreek or is it Deebo? Who are you taking?
Am I taking Deebo or Tyreek Hill? Okay, this is the thing. So Deebo obviously can run the rock. Seems like you can put Deebo Samuel anywhere you want. And he does his thing, and he'll be good, right? I don't think Tyreek could run the ball if you gave him that much, but I don't think he could sustain the punishment that Debo can. I think that's why he gives you a little more versatility because he's built big. I saw someone tweeted that Debo's built like Kyle Lowry. RG3 tweeted that. He said Debo's built like Kyle Lowry. So
hey, real quick side note, for a corny dude, RG3 is good on TV. I'm gonna go ahead and say it. He's corny as fuck, but like he leans into it. Like
honestly,
he understands.
I think
great
he's
on
like
TV.
I think he's shedding some of the corn. Like the stock is coming off. Like he's so much better. Off. The stock is coming off. Like
that's a new segment. Whose stock is coming off recently?
He's a lot better.
He's
than,
off the cob. He's off.
Yeah,
the cob.
he's getting points for
he's
me.
Great on TV, man. No, he's great on TV, and some of it is still like kind of like self-deprecating. Like again, I think he knows like, hey, I'm not. I'm not gonna try to be someone I'm not. And I think when you have people, we talk about this before, be comfortable with who you are. That's the type of dude you are. Be you. And it shows through. So yeah, my fault. I didn't mean to cut out on that.
No. Yeah, no, you're good. But if I had to pick one, man, I get because I feel like you could do a lot. You could get they could get Tyreek Hill a lot more rushes than they do, and Tyreek does really well without taking a lot of hits. If you notice, Tyreek is always getting down. He's always getting out of bounds. He's never taken a lot of big shots. Now that I say that, I don't know if I've ever seen Tyreek take a really big shot.
Me neither. Well, he doesn't go in those. He doesn't operate in those ares where the big shots.
Well, but he does though. He goes over the middle. He's not afraid to go over the middle. He goes everywhere. So I got to give him. Yeah. So I never really see him take a lot of punishment. So man, if I had to pick one, I'm gonna probably pick. Because I'm gonna tell you this: Debo is getting the ball, and he's just power, speed, and he's just enforcing his will.
Football play. He's a football player.
Yeah, like he's running over people. He's doing the whole thing. Ask Eddie Jackson. He ran Eddie Jackson over a couple weeks back in week 1. Tyreek Hill, on multiple occasions, I have said, like talking to myself on the couch, this guy is unguardable.
Yeah.
Like you can't guard this dude. I don't know what else to say. Like you cannot do anything with this guy if it's not a safety over the top and man. Like you need 2 people for this guy. If you try to do anything with one person on this dude, it's just not going to happen. I think that's why the Dolphins have been so dangerous with Waddle and him because they can both stretch it.
Yeah. You know what?
I would take Tyreek Hill. Final answer, but it's they're different guys. Close. It's close though. Yeah.
One thing that I think Tyreek's great at that I've noticed this year is obviously Mahomes has a fucking bazooka, whereas Tua doesn't necessarily have the arm like Mahomes. And Tua has underthrown him. Not necessarily. Not even close. Yeah, not even close. Tua has underthrown him a bunch, and he's still able to come back and make those plays. Like if you look at some of the
high points the ball and everything.
Yeah. And he'll come back like on an underthrown ball and it's not over. Whereas a lot of guys, a lot of receivers, if that ball's underthrown, they don't really know how to adjust backwards like that. Whereas he's just, his ability to operate out there is pretty crazy. Put it this way, man, you're happy with either of those guys. Both of those guys strike fear in your heart. I thought that Debo abused Jalen Ramsey. It's funny, man, for a guy's always talking, constantly getting abused. We talk about it all the time, man. Great self-promoter. See my mans get burned a lot. Just a lot.
Always chirping, bro.
Always.
And he seems to find himself on a lot of highlight reels. It's almost feast or famine. He either is really, really good or all his risks on a down-to-down basis get exposed, and then he's getting exposed across the board. So I feel
Debo took him to church.
Yeah, so that is how it is. But this is the thing, because this is one of those situations where, like, as fans and analysts, whatever you want to call us, fanalists, we get a tough rap because, like, if you ask the people in the league who's the best corner, they all say him. You know what I'm saying? Like a vast majority of the people in the league are like, Jalen Ramsey. Yeah. And then us are like, this dude gets burned all the time. And it's like, oh, man. If you ask these dudes I get it. Best corner is, I think he gets voted number 1 and has been.
Yeah, and I get it, man. I mean, he makes a lot of great plays. Again, it's a lot of that is self-promotion. You know what I mean? He does a great job of promoting himself.
You think he's a marketing corner?
He's the marketing corner. Yeah. And I'm not gonna call him my man out in I'm not gonna call him my man's out in Dallas, who's either interception or getting burnt up. Yeah, he's either interception or getting burnt up. Hey, I'll give it to him, man. Dude has an uncanny ability to get to the football and make a play.
Yeah,
but yeah, I think Ramsey's good, man. It's just you talk a lot for a guy who's not perfect. You know what I mean? I like dude out in what's the dude, man? He was on the Patriots for a couple of years. He's on the Chargers now. Got a whole bunch of money. J.C. Jackson. Yeah, give me that guy. I don't see him on the reels.
Yeah. No, hey, I'm gonna tell you this. I've been watching a good amount of Jets tape just because I talk about him a bunch on my Friday show because it's New York based. Mm-hmm. Sauce Gardner looks like one of the top tier, top premier, top 5 corner already right now. He's big. He's physical. They don't go his direction, and when they do, it's locked up. I'm talking about the rookie out of Cincinnati who didn't give up a touchdown his whole entire college career. That shit's translating to the Jets and the AFC. So look out for Sauce too if you want to go look up some film on the dude playing ball. But all right, let's talk about the rest of the week 4, and then we'll do a little look ahead to week 5 before we get out of here. Yeah.
Shout out Danny Polska in the chat. Danny, you gotta send me the Poland joint, man. Send me the Lewandowski.
Oh yeah, he wants us to go out and catch a game. He said these American sports ain't shit. He said y'all not.
We gotta go out to Poland. I'm about to make the trip, man. I'm about to make the trip, man. Line up the food. We out there.
So
shout out Danny, always rocking with us every week though, man, from Poland.
Yeah, man, always, bro. Shout out our guy, man. Let's talk a little bit about week 4. Week 5 coming up here. Anything Dallas continues to win. Washington might be the worst team in the league.
Hey, Cooper Rush is a player.
All right, let me say this about Cooper Rush.
Look at some of those throws. The throw that he made to CeeDee Lamb down the seam for the touchdown.
Listen.
High level throw.
Listen. I've been trying to discredit this little run as much as I possibly can. I'm like, he's playing the Commanders. He's on Monday night playing the Giants. They're not shit either. He played a bad Cincinnati defense. Go look. He hasn't missed a read or a throw yet.
Yeah, not yet. I'm telling you, bro.
He hasn't missed a throw yet. Cooper Rush in 3 games played hasn't missed a read or a throw yet against NFL teams. Could be the Bengals, could be the Giants, could be the Commanders. Commanders are brutal. Cooper Rush hasn't missed a throw yet.
You play the schedule in front of you, and I'm telling you, look at that throw to CeeDee, the touchdown to CeeDee, where he just hit him down the seam in stride. It was just one of these where the receiver just goes like this, the ball's right there. Like my man can play. If he's not playing for Dallas next year, he's making a lot of money somewhere. Someone's gonna give him. I said it last week. He should hold out. Folks should not show up. Hey, listen, Jerry. You over here talking about QB controversies? That's cool. Yeah, the controversy is my salary. My contract is the controversy, man. Jerry in a tough spot. They're saying Dak wants to play this weekend. Yeah, of course he does.
I bet he does.
Dak itching to get back.
He don't want to get Tom Brady out. He don't want to get Drew Bledsoe out here.
He don't want to get Tony Romo. Dak
straight
knows.
Up. He don't want to. Yeah, he knows. Hold on, I gotta show you this. I gotta show you what Pac-Man did. I think I sent the tweet. Since we're talking about the Cowboys and Cooper Rush, he said he was talking about whoever was sticking CD. I don't know his name. Look, hold on. Hold on. Let me share my screen really quick. Share screen.
So what is this?
Look, this is Pac-Man. So Will Jackson was guarding CeeDee Lamb, and this is what
y'all know what I'm doing. What they did to Will Jack today, they barbecue grilled. Will Jack, you in there? We cooked your ass today to 450. Y'all know what I'm doing. What?
This man went to the charboy and said, "Will, you in there?"
Could you hear that?
Yeah.
Oh my God, bro! He tapped on the grill and said, "Will Jack, you in there?" He said, "Because this is what we did to you: barbecue grill, $450."
Cooked his ass. Yeah, so, listen, man. The man is playing. Hey, and I don't care who he's playing. First off, you play your schedule. That's who he's been lined up to play. He's a backup quarterback. You understand what I'm saying? And my man has come up in here and is absolutely delivering. And it's not like he's a bystander. He's making the plays. Like you said, he has not missed a throw or a read.
I'm telling you, he hasn't missed a read or throw yet.
I took him in the pick'em. Easy. I thought that was the easiest game on the board in the pick'em was taking the Cowboys on Sunday. I was like, this is a wrap. This guy, Cooper Rush, is on fire. Like you said, the Commanders are absolute trash. I hope this is it for Carson Wentz also, by the way. I don't know how many more evidence of trash we need to see. I know I gave him credit in week 1, but Mans is still hot garbage. Been hot garbage.
I came across
he stinks.
I came across a highlight reel of him in 2019, I think, or 18 or 17 maybe. Yeah. Whenever Doug Peterson was there and he was the MVP
2018
front runner. You should see some of these highlights, bro. I'm gonna send you the clip. The compilation was insane. He looked like the best quarterback we've ever seen. I'm gonna send it to you.
Fell off a cliff.
Those days are not they're just not there anymore, man.
Is Taylor Heineke still on the roster? I liked that guy. Is Taylor Heineke still on the roster? Bring my man.
That's a good question. I think he was
fine. He was fine.
Also,
he
made
some throws.
If this is Carson Wentz's last opportunity, I think this has to be Rivera's last opportunity as well, bro.
Riverboat. Man, you can't give him man Riverboat.
And I don't want to do Riverboat like that. And
Riverboat Rob.
Another one
of my nickname.
My Latino brothers, but
yeah, man.
He's skating.
Cabron, man.
yeah. Riverboat Ron been skating, huh? All right.
Oh, for sure. He talks a great game. You want him in charge of your program when your program is shit. You know what I mean?
He gives you like a hard-nosed philosophy shit.
Exactly.
He's not winning you any games, man. Cut the shit out.
All the bad PR that they've had as an organization and self-inflicted and the terrible things they've done, and we know Dan Snyder is at this point, if you don't believe that Dan Snyder's a big piece of shit, you don't have to worry about there being any shenanigans in the locker room. Remember, rest in peace, he got rid of Haskins immediately. He came in 2 weeks, was like, yeah, no, this isn't. Nope.
Yeah.
We're not doing this. So, and I'm sure he's done that with several other people in that organization. So if you want professionalism on the field because your front office is in shambles, I think that's why you bring in Ron Rivera. There's going to be no nonsense here. We're not going to win any football games, but
we're not going to win. But there's not going to be no nonsense going on.
You won't be embarrassed. Don't worry about it. We're going to go 3-14, but we're going to be proud.
We're going to be stand-up guys. That's for sure. So
I love Riverboat Ron, man. Shout out Ron Rivera, man. He's great. He's good in his day. Got that Panthers team that had no business going to Super Bowl to a Super Bowl.
Yeah, no question. So shout out. So I think that I agree with you. It has to be the last opportunity for Wentz. We can talk about Matt Ryan all day. I think a lot of these guys have no business in the league. I think we should never hear from Trubisky again. He should just collect the second money that he got somehow.
Yeah,
I still don't understand how this occurred. He went to Buffalo and didn't play,
and upped his value,
and got a deal.
Yeah,
and then they're shocked that that's not a good team either. Let's not.
So let me ask you this, right? Because when I think of Wentz, I'm like, this guy is absolutely not a backup quarterback. Like, he just doesn't strike me as the characteristics of a backup quarterback. I think he's too arrogant. You know what I mean? He's not the guy you want behind your one holding the clipboard. Does Mitch settle into a backup role in life? Or is it one of those guys where it's like, man, we don't know?
Bro, if you've ever heard him speak, he's a backup. He was always a backup.
I'm saying, you know what you want, and you want your Chase Daniel type guy. Like, you want those guys you want company men. You want guys
like Dan Orlovsky. You want Dan Orlovsky.
Yeah, exactly. Like, they don't play, but they bring some mental value to the game, right? Like, does Mitch bring the mental value to the game as a backup? Like, I get if shit goes bad, there's worse quarterbacks to put in. Like, in a game situation, Mitch is probably a better player than say Orlovsky was or Danny.
He's not Hoyer.
But he's no Hoyer. Hoyer's like, I'm not going to play, but I'm going to give value in other areas.
I'm studying.
Right. Don't put me in the game.
Don't put me in the game.
Don't put me in the game. But Monday through Saturday, I'm your guy. You know what I mean? Like, I'm grading the room. I'm helping people with film. Like, Mitch was never really known for his I guess, understanding of the
mental
game on a
acumen.
mental level.
He's an athlete. He's an athlete first. Yeah, of course.
Right.
I know what you're saying. Yeah, I don't know if.
That's why I thought the Jimmy situation was never going to work. Also, by the way, because Jimmy's not a backup quarterback. Like, he doesn't give me the backup. He's a starter.
Right.
And to have him behind Lance like that was always going to be questionable. I mean, I think they dealt him a favor when Lance got hurt, as fucked up as that sounds. But you can't – there's certain guys you got to have that they're not going to be clamoring to play. You know what I mean? They're not waiting for their opportunity to play. That's what you need in that
Especially
backup.
when the locker room is on their side, too. I think a lot of guys in that Niners room were like, Jimmy's a better quarterback, man.
Yeah, he's taken us to the Super Bowl and the NFC Championship game in the last 5 years.
Yeah. So,
I
understand what you're saying. It's a good question because, I mean, in my opinion, he's not going to have a choice but to settle in, right? So maybe he got 2 opportunities.
It's really to me, forget about it. I'm not bringing that guy in as a backup. I've never heard a good story about his personality and the type of guy that he is. This is just a
reminder that situation really can hamper an NBA guy, an NFL guy. Because because we've said this a trillion times, I have no problem with Mitch Trubisky as a dude. Really nice dude. Seems like a good guy. I don't know.
Players love him. Teammates loved him.
Honest. Teammates loved him, whatever. He was in a really bad situation with the Bears and Nagy. Got the whole dynamics of getting picked before Mahomes and Watson was already bad. Then you give him a coach like Matt Nagy who didn't know what he was doing, couldn't get stuff rolling, and a GM in Ryan Pace who didn't know what he was doing, couldn't get people around him that were solid NFL guys. So that's a bad situation. You get run out of town, deservedly so, but you probably took a lot more responsibility than you needed to.
The last year you were the whipping boy, 100% for Nagy. Nagy, remember, 100% the whipping boy. Yeah. You're benching him in the middle of games for no reason, like all types of wild shit was going on.
Yeah. Then you go to Buffalo. And you know what? I'm sure there was a lot of rumblings like, yo, this dude looks amazing. He's in a good situation. He's under Dayball. They're in a class, top-tier organization right now. And one of the best offenses. He's playing behind Josh Allen. He's learning. And then he gets but he signs for big money to the Steelers, who have no offensive line, no real weapons outside of Pickens, who's a rookie. Their best offensive player plays defense in Minka Fitzpatrick. And
plays defense.
Najee Harris is good, but like
Najee Harris is nowhere to run the ball. Yeah. The offensive line is absolutely atrocious.
The offensive line is in shambles. So then you get 3 games in a new system on a new team to show you could play a little bit. And then you don't play, and now it's probably in a spot where he'll probably never be a starting quarterback in the NFL again. That's a tough road. It's a tough business, but situations matter, man. Like if Josh Allen doesn't turn into Josh Allen without Dayball and that steady organization in Buffalo, Jalen Hurts doesn't turn the page unless
we talked about Hurts last week.
Peterson and the Eagles truly lock in and believe in him, right?
Yeah.
And then put talent around him, which they did. That's the difference with Trubisky and, say, Jalen Hurts. Is Trubisky as talented as Jalen Hurts and some of these other guys? Probably not. But they're in a lot better situation where they could have, succeeded. Yeah. And they have. I'm trying to think of another example. Like even Mahomes going to Andy Reid. It's a big
Lamar going to Baltimore is the biggest one. They tailored the entire program. If you can't sit here, and this is one of my things, listen, man, Nagy's like fucking herpes. He never goes away. We always keep talking about it. I wonder if we'll be talking about Nagy in 20. That's how scarred we are from the Matt Nagy era.
They've been showing him on the sideline with Mahomes and shit on Sunday night. Too.
You see the meme? Someone was like, "Hey, keep doing what you're doing. I'll get another head coaching job."
Yeah.
But like that's what never made sense. Like it's all this talk about the quarterback's the most important player, but then you don't gear your system towards your quarterback, right? Again, you can look at year 1 of Mitch and year 2. Matt Nagy was running completely different plays. Year 1 under Nagy with Mitch, they were highlighting his athleticism, right? Like really trying to highlight what he does well. Year 2, he was trying to turn him into something he wasn't. You know what I mean? He was trying to turn him into Patrick Mahomes. He was trying to turn him into Drew Brees. and that was never going to work. So yeah, situation 100% matters. We talked at length last week about Hurts and all that they put into him, and they built the entire situation around him and blocked out the noise, right? Because the noise coming from ESPN and NFL Network and all your different analysts was Jalen Hurts is not a quarterback. Jalen Hurts can't play the quarterback position. You need to be replacing quarterbacks. The Eagles have all these picks. They're just biding their time with Hurts. He was a transition quarterback. Like everything you could say from the outside to make it seem like you weren't invested in him is what was being said. But on the inside of that building, they were giving him nothing but confidence. So yeah, 1,000% locked in. And Allen's a great situation. Like you got to nurture these guys. And I'm not saying that Mitch would have worked out had you put more into him. But I'm never going to sit back and look at the Trubisky era and be like, yeah, the Bears did everything they could for that kid to succeed, because they absolutely did, especially towards the end. Once Nagy decided he didn't like him, he did everything he could to sabotage him.
Yeah. And then his next opportunity is in a completely rebuilding Steelers spot that drafts a rookie quarterback. That drafts, don't forget that. That draft, they signed him and then draft a rookie quarterback. So then you're already
in the first round. Yeah.
Yes, in the first round. So you're already like, oh man, like if I don't produce here off top, they're going to be clamoring for the other guy. This really tough situations for Mitch across the board. So
watch Tomlin turn this around and go 9-8.
I thought it was hilarious that Pickett started going deep right away. That was awesome. Yeah. Like first play comes and he throws it deep.
Just slings it.
He's like, I'm gonna go down. I'm going.
What y'all talking about? Yeah, that's my job. Hey, I'm here for the next 14 weeks.
That was the thing about Trubisky too. Is like
scared. I think you just muted yourself. You muted yourself. You're on a mute right now. But yeah, go ahead.
You good? I unplugged myself. There. That was the thing about Trubisky, man. Go down firing.
Yeah, he didn't. He looked scared. He looked very apprehensive. It's like, what do you have to lose at this point? If you're Trubisky, it's like, man, I'm gonna go out and do my motherfucking thing.
Yes, bro. He doesn't.
I'm drawing shit on my hands. Like, hey, okay, that's it. What's your point? This is it.
That's like the mental thing. He doesn't. Never had the killer instinct for sure.
Nah.
So, any other games you want to talk about? Buffalo, Baltimore. It seems like Baltimore's D.
Baltimore's defense is just brutal. You know, for an organization, a franchise has always been known for defense. Their secondary is atrocious. I had the over in that game, and somehow it didn't hit, and I thought that was a guarantee because I couldn't see how Buffalo didn't give up 35. But
Baltimore didn't score the second half.
Yeah, I know. They're not quite. Trust me, I know. They're not quite. I was there. They're not quite. I took that game on like Tuesday, so trust me, I was very much in tune. They're not quite Detroit Lions level, but Lamar has to be. Listen, man. Let me count the ways as to why it's time to pay me. But if he's not superhuman, that team can't win. Not with that defense. That's a problem. Like their defense is bad. It's bad. Yeah. And I get like, oh, they only gave up 23 points. No, watch the game, man. That defense is fucking brutal. And they should have won that. I don't think that the Ravens were great, obviously, in the second half. But if you look at the first few weeks, Lamar has been superhuman, and that's why they've been winning games. But they have no real pivot if Lamar Jackson isn't the best player on earth that Sunday. So
I think it was interesting that the narrative was starting to really creep up on Buffalo about how they can't win a close game. Close game. They're front runners, et cetera, et cetera. And then they go down and then they battle all game and come back and win a close game. There was a lot of big time plays from Josh Allen running the ball. And there was a lot of bad weather on the East Coast. It was raining over there. It was wet. He's just a big body. He's a beast.
Yeah.
So, I tweeted this out because I was watching the film on that yesterday morning as I drank some coffee as well. This guy, how do you feel about quarterbacks complaining to the refs about like late hits? This guy, I'm telling you, I watched it, and you could go back and watch it too. Josh Allen complained to Bogert every single time he got touched. Late or not, he looked at him like, yo. And then at the crucial spot in the fourth quarter, Josh took a hit, and he looked at him like, and then Bogert finally threw the your boy. I've been
Jerome,
telling you this.
Sean's got
Bogert. My God, Bogert.
Sean fades Jerome Bogert every time he can.
Yeah, that's one of the worst refs. That's one of my shout out my guy. I like him. He's one of the worst refs in the NFL. It's not even a discussion. So he finally gets him to throw he finally gets him to throw a flag in the fourth quarter, and it's like it just worked out perfectly, playing the game within the game. I have a because I'm all about win by any means necessary, right? Do what you got to do, play the game within the game. But I also think it's so whack to just complain every single snap about late hits that aren't late hits.
Listen,
you know what I mean?
We're NBA guys, so we understand the philosophy behind doing that. Star players gets on the refs early, you get your calls later. LeBron's been doing this for years. A lot of star players have done this, and the NBA is a perfect example of it. Hey, come on. Hey, you see that? You see that? You see that? And you keep planting that seed. You keep planting that seed. And lo and behold, when you need it to grow, it does. So I got no problem with it, man. It's part of the game. It's part of the chess match out there. To me, in the NFL, it's not as annoying as it happens with the NBA because the NBA is just so right in your face. There's only 10 guys out there. So it is what it is, but I don't have a problem with it at all, man. If I'm Josh Allen, I'm doing the same thing every single time. You know who needs to do that? You know who really needs to start doing that is Justin Fields, because I've never seen a quarterback get hit late more on slides than Justin Fields does. So if I'm Fields,
he does get hit late on slides
all the time. He'll get hit on his slide. He slides and they're just taking his head off. So he needs to be doing the same thing. So I got no problem with it, man. Absolutely. Hey, nobody's gonna advocate for you better than yourself.
That's a fact. That's a fact. That's a fact.
You understand what
That's
I'm saying?
a fact.
So So I have absolutely no problem with that. Keep complaining. And like you said, he got his call when he needed his call. And obviously the strategy worked, man. This is chess. You can't get off the board.
It's
not
chess.
For you.
Big time.
Yeah.
You got to run, man. Or you got a few?
I got like 3. We got 3 minutes.
Okay. Let's do. I want to go through some quick NBA futures. I want to get your opinion. Right now, the Clippers are the favorite to win the title. This is my first time looking at these, by the way. Clippers are the favorite to win the title at plus 550. The Warriors are next at 600. Celtics are at 600. Nets are at 700. Bucks are at 8. Then the Suns are at 12. Philly at 1,500. How you feel about the Clippers being the number one team favorite to win the title? Kawhi, that must mean Kawhi is back. He might play. Kawhi going to play 60 games.
I don't know. Yeah, if Kawhi plays 60, they're gonna go 52-8. So I don't like that at all. I don't know who my favorite would be. I was actually thinking about this, and we'll talk about it more. We can kind of do a little preview, but I know who I'm not going with. I'm fading the Warriors win total. I can tell you that.
Yeah, why you say that?
I just don't feel. I feel like the number is going to be higher than it should be. I feel like it's going to be really hard for them. You know how hard it is to go back to back. It's really hard to go back to back when you're that old. I think that they're just going to try to get through the regular season. You're not going to. Draymond was clearly showing signs of decline last year. So I'm interested to see how he's going to play this year. I just think they're just going to be kind of gassed, and they're just going to try to get into the playoffs. And I don't know if they're. I think last year they were on a mission. Like last year, they were 100% laser focused in on showing people we can do this again. We can get back to that mountaintop. You're almost trying to prove it to yourself. So they were just motivated night in and night out. I don't know where that motivation comes from this year. And I get the whole heart of a champion thing. So I got to see the number when it comes out, but I just feel like that number is going to be higher than it should be. And I could see the Warriors sliding into like a 4th seed type situation. Now, who knows what happens once the playoffs start? But again, I don't think they're going to come out like gangbusters in the regular season. So, and I do think that number is going to be high, and I think the public's going to, So.
Yeah, that's exactly the you got to be when you're sports betting, you have to be contrarian and believe it and get out in front of it. You can't let them come out and be 10-10 and then be like, they're going under the total. You have to see that 10-10 on the way. So that's what you got to do to get out and get.
I was thinking about this yesterday, like at length. I was like, I think when those numbers come out, unless it's something like stupid, you know what I mean? If it's like 42 wins or something, obviously, you know what I mean? But I think it's going to be a high.
It's right here. Let me see what they got them at.
Let me guess.
Take a guess.
How many did they win last year? 55?
Yeah, right around there. I'll tell you right now,
53 and a half.
Right now, the leaders, the 53.5 Boston Celtics. The Warriors are 51.5. And it's juiced to the over. Juice to the over at minus 115.
Man, I don't know. It's tough to see them going 50-32, but at the same time, like I could, you know what I mean? Like when you put it like that, I think that number is actually, that number's a little bit lower than I thought it would be. But we'll see.
All right, man. I'll let you go. Big Nick the Quick's got to run. Big Nick the Quick been working, man, on the road.
I'm out here.
On the road again. All right, man. For Big Nick the Quick, I'm your host, Sean Little. Make sure you subscribe everywhere. We'll be back next week. Bunch of stuff to talk about. You already know. We'll do a little NBA preview coming up here as well. That season's around the corner. Fall sports in full tilt right now. For Big Nick the Quick, I'm your host, Sean Little. No Catch Up Sports Talk via Chicago. We'll see y'all later.